Welcome to Around the Board, a show where four board game enthusiasts talk about stuff, usually tabletop related, but sometimes we get off on other tangents. This is episode number 77, which means we've been doing this way too long. It's recorded on January 20th, 2026, and welcome aboard the crazy train. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you survive. With me are my hosts, our hosts, the hosts, Daniel Collins, John Theismann, Kelly McLeod, and me, Andy Barnett. Welcome to Around the Board.
Andy, are you okay over there?
Yeah,
you look a little chaotic.
Disheveled.
Thing about this show is there's a theme. It's called marbles, and I have lost my marbles. That's what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to get across.
This would be more funny.
By the way, you never participate.
If I literally haven't seen you flashing this light for an entire hour. Are you... Now the real question is this light going to turn off ever?
Well, I could if you want me to. I kind of like it.
No, that's fine.
Do we need to have a seizure warning?
That we will need, yes.
Oh, yeah. Warning. Andy Strobes coming.
I got to say, I like the title Andy came up with better than John is Wrong. I thought that was supposed to be the title of the show, but that's fine.
What did I call it?
Title?
Marbles. I don't know. Is that what you said?
You lost your marbles.
Yes,
your
I
marbles.
lost his marbles.
Hey, the thumbnail will either say John is wrong or he lost his marbles. You get to decide, John.
John lost his
In the
marbles.
comments.
So did Andy.
Gotta go with the marbles.
That would work.
All right.
right.
Let's jump into it. We got a regular show. Back to the old format, the good old one.
Pretty close.
I mean, we got a behind the scenes judge, right? Adding points up, hopefully, and
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Round one. Fight.
All right, round one comes to me, and I don't see how I could be wrong about this, but it's the Hot or Not segment of our show, one of our awesome segments that we have. And this time, it's about the game 12 Rivers, which features marbles. How about that? And here's a really quick description of how 12 Rivers is played. This is 12 Rivers all set up and ready to play. As you can see, we've got all the 12 rivers loaded with random pearls of various colors behind the little starting gate. In your personal supply over here, you've got one alpaca, one starting tile from the starting villager tile, and a hand of special cards. These cards can give you special abilities. If you have pairs of them, you can turn them in for their abilities, which can be very powerful. On your turn, to start the game, you're going to be placing one of your tribe tokens that are set up in turn order anywhere on the board that you can afford to place it. You can see down here, it costs 0 to put a tribe token down here, because when the pearls all come down here, if anything is left over, that's what you're going to get down there. You have no choice, whatever is there. You can do anything from there all the way up to the very top, which is going to cost you 3 of those aforementioned powerful cards. 3 random cards that you want to turn in will get you up there. So they're currency in the game, and they're also special abilities in the game. After that, it's an opponent's turn to place a token. They might choose to go here, which would get them a special ability. It gives them a magic token to use any time in the game. And then you would go again and place one somewhere, and so forth, until everyone has all of their tokens placed. After everyone has their tokens placed, we will release the pearls into the rivers. And then they are all resolved from top to bottom, left to right. So this one would go first, and that person would get their blue pearl and place it on their alpaca. And then everybody will end up getting whatever pearls they get throughout the round, and they will all be placed on their alpaca. Once everybody has gathered all their pearls at the same simultaneous time, we all get to place them wherever we can on our villagers. You can see I have 2 blue pearls, and I have no blue pearl spots on my villager. In order to ever score these pearls, you must get them to a villager before the end of the game. And they all score according to their rarity, with white being the most rare and green being the least rare. Other things that you can do on your turn or when you're placing your tribe tokens, is place down here to get another villager card. Because after everybody's done collecting their pearls, you will also go in turn order down here, depending on how you place them. And so choose whatever villager card that you want. They will give you cards. They will give you places to put pearls to score later, and they will also give you scoring bonuses, sometimes for all your cards, sometimes just for that card. However, you can score pearls on your alpaca if you're the first one to get 3 purple pearls, 4 pink, and so on,
As soon as you meet that requirement, you grab that, and that's worth 4 points at the end of the game, which is a pretty big deal in this game. At the end of 5 rounds, whoever has the most points is the winner of 12 Rivers.
All right.
John,
Thank you,
that's
John,
the
for
first
that.
time in history you're getting points for the intro. It was so good. Your teach was so good.
What? Thank you. Wow, that's awesome. I'm probably going to need it because I'm wrong, so I'll probably not
Good
get
thing
many
I'm
points
not
for
the
it.
judge. That's all I gotta say.
But
I feel like there's sucking up going on here.
maybe. And I'm not sure why there's a car wreck going on, but
Because of you talking.
someone lost their marbles, I guess. But in any event, 12 Rivers.
Yes, tell us about it.
Well, here's the deal with 12 Rivers. Andy and I both saw this at Gen Con. It was on my list of games to go see, and I did buy it at Gen Con. It was not on Andy's, but he went and was a good sport and tried it anyway. But 12 Rivers was not what I expected when I started playing it. I was thinking it was going to be, you got all these marbles at the top, that you're supposed to be fishing out of the rivers. They represent different types of pearls or what have you. And I'm thinking it's going to be some kind of a chaotic thing. You release all these marbles. Oh my gosh, where are they going to go? Which ones did I get? How am I going to? No, this is a strictly strategic game. You know where the marbles are going to go. You know what river they're going to go down. It's the decisions that you're going to make as far as, what powers am I going to use? How much am I going to invest in trying to get that one that I know I need? Or am I going to bide my time, see if it's going to come out later? There's a lot of little decisions to make in this. It's not the random happenstance game that it looks like it's going to be. And I think that's going to make it a lot more popular than it is. And it's hot for me every time. Well, I'll hold this in a abatement here because I don't think I've played it with Andy. But every time I played it with somebody, I think everybody's pretty much enjoyed it. A lot of times we play it, people don't realize what kind of a game it is. They're like, oh, now that I know what kind of a game it is, let's play it again. And so it's one of those where you can just turn around and play it a couple times in a row. It's hot for me, and there you go. It's not your typical random marble game. The marbles are in it. The marbles serve a purpose, but that purpose is not random rolling everywhere and you don't know where they're going to go. So that's what I got on 12 Rivers. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I think what you said was good. You actually convinced me in real time. I think I'm going to formulate.
Really?
I'm going to listen to all of your guys' comments and then actually formulate my opinion. So Kelly, give me your opinion so I know what to say next.
There we go.
So first of all, I just want to complain that, and I checked the logs for this. Me, John, Philip, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who else played with us. Played this in October 2025 once. So I really had to dig here to even remember what I thought.
Hey, you're not supposed to tell them at home that. You're supposed to act like you're an expert.
Oh, no, don't worry. I am an expert on one thing. That trying to play another game with John is like Bigfoot. You know he exists, but try to get him to play a game and spot him. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's
I digress.
Accurate.
He goes into hibernation.
As I pondered and tried to pull the memories from my 44-year-old brain, I do recall that there's better names for this game. Andy Uri kind of said, lost his marbles. I was thinking better names for this game was Marble Jam, River Block, or even Rip Off River. Because let me tell you, turn order makes or breaks this game.
Yep.
And yes, the cards, you can use them to mitigate better turn order, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. But regardless of how the marbles come out or the cards, it's all luck driven. So, yeah, you can have a little bit of mitigation, but I personally kept getting frustrated that, I might have needed the one white pearl and consistently just had it rip for me. Now, there is different, what do they call them, villagers that you can get that don't necessarily, you don't have to grab that one that needs that one, but, it's very easy to get behind in points if you don't choose wisely. I would also say that... what was it? The alpacas, by the way. Love the alpacas. They're
not llamas, by the way, not llamas.
I know. I kept going, is this a llama or an alpaca? And then the whole table's like, well, what's the difference? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure one spits more than the other.
Exactly.
But the only other thing I would say is I did really find it interesting, the mechanic of, you got to be careful what pearls, marbles, whatever you want to call them, you're getting, because you have to have certain ones on your alpaca. That's kind of your holding stage, so to speak. And I think you got bonuses from that, if I recall. And then you got to get them over to your villagers to fulfill them for points. So that kind of was the tension of the game, is timing, because if you really messed up, lost your marbles, I guess.
There you go.
You didn't get to keep them.
Yep.
But I need to play this again to really decide. I will say this is a showstopper. The design, I mean, I don't care where you are. You're going to stop and look at this thing, whether you think it's your game or not. Very well designed and beautiful.
Nice.
I do want to take the issue with a couple things. The luck,
Time's up.
the only luck, the only luck in the game is where the marbles are going to come up at the top. That's the only randomness in the game. Everything else is, well, I know if I put my blockade, my token, whatever it is, right up there behind it, and I invest in that, I know I'm going to
Right,
get
turn
that.
order. So if I'm second or
that's
third,
not turn order.
screwed.
That's not turn
Screwed.
order. That's not turn
Because
order.
you'll
That's
block me. That's what happened. You'll block it.
not if you go all the way to the top. You have to invest and go all the way up the top.
Yeah, because
Nobody
you
can
need a
block
lot of cards to do that. So if you don't have the
You do.
cards, you can't do that. So it's
Yeah.
really about the card collection and mitigation.
Well, it's
Before we move
about-
on, though,
Okay.
oh, Kelly, I just wanted to, you said that there should be better names for it. You know, there's 12 segments, right? Like it's literally 12 rivers. Like that is why it's called 12 rivers. Just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Just yeah. No, I just really wanted to name the thing that drove me nuts about it.
Oh, okay. All right, Andy, what do you think about this game?
Well, let me tell you, I played a couple rounds at Gen Con, and I haven't played a full game. And that is a disclaimer I want to make. Now, I'll rip it apart.
Now he's going to
Um,
try.
No, to me, 12 Rivers is kind of like a beauty pageant contestant, okay? Looks pretty, but there's not much there.
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure it's a head turner. It has a nice table presence. It does involve colorful marbles. But aside from that, I just don't think it has lasting staying power. You know what it is? It's Potion Explosion 2.0 is what it is.
This is feeling a bit chauvinist, Andy.
Yeah.
I could have been talking about male beauty pageants.
Yeah,
Right? They have
Mr. America. Okay, Kelly,
Mr.
you watch the
America.
Mr. America pageants.
We should start
That's
with
right,
the
because nobody
chauvinist one.
cares.
So similar to Potion Explosion, it's a contract fulfillment game. And there are some special cards that can change the effects and things. And there's like you said, there's turn orders. You can place your dams in different places to gather more
Well, what's your
resources or
mouth?
less, or it's a little, but it's too gimmicky. The thing's too gimmicky. It's plus if I'm going to play a party game that is made up of, well, it's made of foam.
I wouldn't call it a party game.
It's made of foam core. I just
Yeah.
don't think that's going to stick around. That's gonna wear and tear bad.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Poor planning. Poor planning. No,
My fountains is
it was
perfect.
fine. It was fine. There's nothing terribly wrong with it, but there's nothing terribly exciting. It's really similar to how I feel about Potion Explosion. I would play it, but I disagree with John that there's strategy. There's not really much strategy.
Oh.
I don't know that I
Okay.
go that
Well-
far. There's definitely strategy and timing.
And I think there's a lot more, like Kelly was saying, there's that tension of, well, do I want to keep these on my alpaca? I can't score them on my alpaca, and I can't put any more on my alpaca, once it's full, but I could get that bonus for having those on there if I get one more. That's not the only thing at tension. It's like Daniel was talking about the cards. I have all these cool abilities I can do with my cards, or should I use them to get all the way to the top so I can get that last white pearl and be the first one to get 3 white pearls? Or should I just hang back and hope nobody blocks me? Because it's really your choice whether you want to go all the way up there for the things you really want or not. And so there's a lot of choices like that every
But
time.
see, to me, that's really just a retheme of Potion Explosion. I mean, Potion Explosion, you have the same thing as you start filling up your different beakers. They give you a special power, right? And that can
Yeah.
alter things. And yes, you've only got a certain amount of spots in your lab to store marbles. I think it's just 3 spots. Just
Do you have a
just
reason
like
to
this
keep
one.
them in your lab, though?
What's that?
Do you
No, you don't have a
keep them in your
reason to
lab? You don't
keep
have a
them
reason
there.
to keep them in your lab. That's why it's
But you
different.
have,
a
you have
reason to
more
keep them on your alpaca.
flexibility.
Yeah.
But you have more flexibility to get them out into the beakers.
Yeah.
So, well, I will say this, guys. I think you're both, Kelly and Andy, you're both kind of right in the sense that there isn't a lot of strategy, and at the same time there is. And I'm also going to say that I think you do have to play this game multiple times as well to truly appreciate it. I think, John, I'm going to piggyback on what he said, and that is the first time you're playing this, you don't quite understand what is actually going on in this game because it does look like it's purely a gimmick game where you're just pulling out the marbles. But there is some real cool decisions in this game where you have to decide to use those powerful cards and when you have to decide to use them for their powers or as currency to go up the river, because that's where the randomness is negated. If you need that white marble, Kelly, it's not just about going first, it's also about going up that river and getting rid of those cards. And do you want to get rid of those cards well enough? And once you run out of the cards, you have to go back down the river and get that worse selection so you can get more cards. So I do like the ebb and flow that it has of actually attempting to gather the resources that you need to buy the cards that you need. But I will agree with you guys that it is lucky where there is only X amount of cards that come out that are like the villagers, and it kind of depends on who gets what and what marbles are at the time. Where Potion Explosion excels is that everybody has the option to get the exact same potion. So even though you're doing some combos with those, they're a lot easier to fulfill and they seem a lot more fair. But then John is also right where every marble you get does matter no matter where it's at, because you're scoring for your marbles that are on the guys and on the alpaca. You're scoring for their colors. So it gives you more reasons to get more different kinds of marbles. But in the end, I do think that this game is a middling game. It's going to be forgotten. While I had an okay time with it, there was nothing about it that really shot out to me that said that this is going to have staying power. It might have just as much staying power as Potion Explosion did, but it was really hot when it came out, and then it faded, and not a lot of people talk about it because the novelty wore off. And unfortunately, this novelty is the same novelty as Potion Explosion, and it's already worn off. So I think it will be fine.
One thing you brought up the village.
John, real fast.
Yeah.
To Daniel's point, one of the problems we have in the board game industry right now is the bar is set so high, right? Because there are so many games, and there are ones that are really, really good, and then you've got some that come on the scene and they're fine. They're still better than playing Sorry or Trouble, but it's just it's not something I would ever say like, hey, let's play this.
Yeah.
But you brought up the villager cards, and that's just another example, and I'll quit defending the game. But it's the villager cards themselves. There's like various reasons to take a different villager card. Oh, I'm going to take this one because it gives me 4 cards. It's hard to fulfill, but it gives me 4 cards I can get right now. Doesn't matter what I do with the villager. Or you can take the one that's like, well, I think I have a bunch of those marbles already. I can throw them on there and already, fulfill this guy. Or it's just, he's got random places for me to put marbles. I might not be able to fill them all, but at least I can put them over there to score them. Or this guy gives me a scoring thing for all the rest of my marbles, so just having it lets you score all these other ones. So there's so many different things to think about just by taking one villager. There's like 5 different things to think about. So I don't know. I think, and the funny thing is, like I was saying at the beginning, that's not the kind of game I thought this was going to be. I thought this was going to be a lot more happenstance, fun, eating popcorn, cozy, kind of a game.
What does that even mean?
It turned out to be a completely different kind of game for me, but I still like it. So
yeah, John went hardcore in our game. I think didn't you win and got like triple the points of us because you were like.
I think that was Red Brian actually. Didn't you?
Was it?
Did you? Were you in that play with Red Brian?
No, I wasn't in that.
John, I'll give you an out, okay? And that is that there are some games that are challenging for some people, and maybe this is one that's challenging for you.
Now I do want to play it again.
He's so good at putting people down with a compliment.
I do want to play it again, though. I agree with Daniel. I don't know that I got much of a fair shake of it because I just got the one learning game. So, maybe I'll just have to pin John down and get it played again.
There you go.
Yeah, I think this is a game where if you purchased it, I think you'll be happy with it because you kind of knew what you were getting into. And I think that is the kind of game you probably want. But if you were on the fence about this game, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to win you over, or if you do pull the trigger, play it like 5 times before you make the decision on it, because there's probably more there than at first glance. That's my warning and my, I guess, takeaway.
Well, I'm curious what our viewers out there think, our listeners.
No one's played it.
Okay. Let us know.
Or they forgot about it a year ago.
If you've heard of it, played it, or want to play it, let us know in the comments below.
Round 2. Fight!
Well, at the end of round 1, the scores are as such. Daniel and Kelly, you guys have 6. John, you're at 8, and Andy, you're at 7. Even though I said John's first, you probably thought you were gonna have more points, but you did not. So,
I demand a recount.
So if you guys didn't know this, our producer took a shot to the head, and he has decided, for whatever reason, dishing out the points now. So very, very kind of our producer Randy to do that. I do hope him well, of course, but it seems like he's just getting better and better every episode.
By shot to the head, you mean he's taking more shots, right?
Yes, he got his COVID shot, his flu shot, his smallpox shot. He took them all in one day. It was didn't go well for him.
That is not how that came across.
Oh, hey, look at this. We're in round 2. That is play, shelf, trade.
Nice.
So if you were around for our last segment, we talked about 12 Rivers, which is a game about marbles. So let's keep the theme alive, and we are going to play shelf trade 2 iconic marble games and 1 marble game you may not have heard of, but maybe you should take a look at it. All right, the 3 games we are talking about is the classic Potion Explosion. It is a game that said it was going to be Candy Crush the game, and you know what? It kind of lives up to the hype as much as any analog game can be a digital game. This one lived up to it. You're pulling out marbles, they're clapping together, and when they clack together, you get to take those as well, and it's fun combo-rific times. Then you have Gizmos, which is an engine building game where you're pulling the marbles in the same fashion, but you only have 1 track. But those marbles are going to allow you to generate your machines so that you can get combos running and have good, enjoyable, fulfilling engines. Then we have Whirly Derby. This game came across my feed, and I bought it immediately because my son loves marble races. Also, if you want to help out a 10-year-old boy feel really cool, go ahead and subscribe to OCD Marble Races. He generates these marble races on there you go, John. Thank you. He generates these marble races and stick figure races using Algadoo. It's a really cool thing. Go check it out. He'd actually really appreciated it. I mean, remember, he's 10, so they're really short. They're like 2 minutes too, so won't hurt you. Anyways, Whirly Derby. You dump marbles into a little bowl and they race around. And you go blue, go. No, orange. I want orange to win. And depending on who wins, you get trophies, and it's set collection. So let's look at our play shelf trade for those 3 games. I will start with this. All right, guys. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that I'm trading Potion Explosion. And that reason that at one point, this was a really fun game and I had a lot of good time with it in my collection, but I bought it for my sister who actually enjoyed Candy Crush. And that was about the time this came out. She loved Candy Crush. She loved board games. So I was like, let me get this game and she's going to love it. She was lost on it. She didn't understand. I mean, she kind of understood, but she did not think it felt like Candy Crush at all. So after we were done playing, I immediately got rid of it because I was like, you know what? If I'm not playing this with my sister, who is a gamer, but only like because of only the games I show her, I was like, we're never playing this one again. So it's out of there. Now my play is going to be Gizmos, because Gizmos is an engine building game that I've never actually played, but I am excited to play it because it is the type of game that I enjoy. But like Potion Explosion, 12 Rivers, and Gizmos, the gimmick seems to get in the way for me, and that is the reason that I have not wanted to play it. It's hard to play these games that seem gimmicky. And then the last game is going to be my shelf, and that is Whirly Derby, because as I said, my son loves marble races, and this game is really cool because you get to decide, like, you have 6 marbles and you get to decide each race how many you're going to put in there based on the trophies that are actually up there to present. So whoever gets them, like whoever comes in first will get their first pick of trophies. So you get to decide how many marbles you want in each race, and then you can refresh your marble pools at a couple times, and then at some point a big old marble shows up, and if you get in last, you actually get benefits, or if you get that marble, and if it traps people, you get benefits. So there's more going on in this. If you have kids, I actually recommend it. So that one is going to be on my shelf, Whirly Derby. So that is my play shelf trade.
All right.
I think it was actually your trade play shelf.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry,
Well,
yes.
we're loosey-goosey like that. It's fine. And I think I said all of that without taking a breath. So I'm
you were going a mile a minute there.
Why don't you go visit your nearest oxygen bar?
Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. Go ahead, John.
All right. Well, man, this one's pretty tough because 2 of these games I would like to trade. So one of them I have traded. And that's Potion Explosion. I think that's actually going to be my play. We'll do it in order here, because I think I would like to play it again. I think my wife would like to play it again. We haven't had it for a while, and now they come out with this really cool plastic frame for it. I think that's not doesn't bend and wobble like the cardboard one would after a few plays. So I think I might like that. It was an enjoyable enough game. I will give that another play. It just wore out its welcome with me. But then my shelf is going to have to be Whirly Derby. That's really my play because I'd love to play it. But I think I want that one on my shelf. I think I'm going to like it enough to have it on my shelf and bring it out. It looks like a fun party game with people of all ages. You can play with kids. You can play with adults. People come over. Let's play Whirly Derby for the last game or whatever and have fun with it. I think that looks like a blast. I don't see how it cannot be fun. And so then my trade is going to be Gizmos because I don't understand why there's marbles in this game. You have to have this little thing to keep the marbles from rolling off the table because you're not doing anything with them other than collecting them to do things with. Like you could a card. Why aren't they cards? You could have a deck of cards. You don't need marbles. You could have a row of cards and then a stack of cards, just like you do in other games. I know they want to be different, but in this case, the difference, I would not say viva la différence in this game. I would say you should have stayed viva la same because cards would have worked a lot better in Gizmos, in my opinion. Or use little gears. It's Gizmos. Have little gear cards or something. You don't need marbles. They're just going to go all over the place, and you have to have this thing to hold them. And I don't know. It just seems like it's a gimmick for gimmick's sake. Kind of like the Wheel and Zolkin, but we won't go there. But that's okay. Right?
Whoa! You can't get that kind of slam in there like that. How dare you, sir?
The wheel and Zolk is necessary. If you didn't have the wheel, you'd be pushing all of that manually, and it just would not work. Thank you.
And have you seen it painted? It blows your mind.
It's there to be painted, baby. That's why it's there.
Back to the play shelf trade, John. I am happy that you said shelf Whirly Derby because when you said you have two trades, I was like, come on, you got to give Whirly Derby a fair shot. So I'm glad you gave it a fair shot. Yeah. I will say something about Whirly Derby because I know it's the least known out of these. One of the other ones is there's like 3 trophies. The first trophy you get is 0. The second trophy you get is 0, and then the third one you get is 50. So even that, which is like enough to win the game. So like even that gives you like this moment where you're like, oh, I really got to win this. I'm putting all my marbles in. So there's some good decisions in there. I'm going to defend Whirly Derby this entire episode. So, Kelly,
bring it on.
Which one are you trading?
All right. Get your defenses up, sir.
Shields up.
No. Actually, I have quite a bit to say in this area. The Whirly Derby, I admit, never heard of. It wasn't on my Facebook feed, probably because I paced. But anyways, I still will put it as my play because I want to see what the fuss is about. You guys are all excited about it, so I'll at least try it once. But I will say a game just off the bat that it reminded me of, but it is different, is one that I played on our first Friday game night, which is called Beat the 8 Ball. Okay. And I probably enjoy that better just from the sound of things, just because I like the idea of you throw the 8 ball. It has like these long little, what would you call it? Like a little track, and you're each holding on to your particular color ball, and you're trying to play chicken of letting your ball go the last I can't speak. Lastest you can go, and not have the 8 ball cut you off. And I know I did a terrible explanation, but try it because I swear you'll play it 10 times in a row. It's so much fun. So maybe
I've actually wanted to play that. It does sound fun.
Oh yeah, it is so much fun. I literally have always, anytime they pull it out, they'll want to play it once and leave because it's like 2 in the morning. I'm like, wait, one more. So
one question about it: if you play really bad, do you come in lastest?
Lastest.
The lastest of the lastest.
Y'all knew what I meant. It's fine. So anyways, I'll give the whirlsy a whirls. And I'm going to go to my next one, which is Potion Explosion. I'm going to actually shelf it because it is on my shelf. And I actually had not played it in a long time, but I've recently been really getting obsessed with Board Game Arena again. And so I've been playing that and a few other games on there. And I kind of still really enjoy it. It's a quick play. It's a fun little, kind of like Annie was saying, it has all these little abilities. And granted, you don't have a lot in one game, or at least I've only played the base. But I still enjoy it. It's still fun making the combos and trying to race and, use the most efficient potions in a row. So I'll definitely keep that on my shelf. Gizmos, oh my gosh. I was over this game before it came out practically. Like, they played it at our game night back in the day. I hated it. The box was terrible that it came in. The marbles would fly everywhere. I hated the artwork. It was so much iconography that just wasn't, it was too much. It was too much for what was supposed to be a simple little party game. There's so many games that have replaced that Gizmo for me, which is like Space Base, Valeria Kingdoms. I mean, those are so much better. I think it isn't even Bad Company. Well, Bad Company didn't have marbles though. But anyways, I'm probably, but yeah, just that same idea. But I hated that game. I never would have it to trade. It would just be, I put it in the fire. That's how much I hate that game.
Wow.
Okay.
You know, it's
So-
funny, John and Kelly, you both said you wouldn't trade Gizmos. That's my play because, like, I know our friend Brady Jesse, he really likes Gizmos, and I've heard great things about it. And when Potion Explosion came out, people were like, Gizmos is a Potion Explosion killer. So your guys' take on it seems to be very interesting. And yeah.
I was kind of curious if you're playing Potion Explosion on Board Game Arena, couldn't you just play Candy Crush? Wasn't that the whole point?
I'd play both. So what?
Oh, okay.
What you
Never
gonna
mind.
do? What you
Well,
gonna
you're
do?
good. You're good. You're good.
I don't think Potion Explosion has the microtransactions.
Oh, there you go. Exactly.
That's the next expansion. Microtransactions.
Maybe we can build
Ooh.
microtransactions into board games.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody wants. You
into
work on
Board
that,
Game
Andy.
YouTube channels. That's what you
Fascinating.
need to put it into.
Maybe it could be a game about making microtransactions in an app.
Now we're talking.
There we go.
Kind of Inception kind of thing going, right?
Speaking
right, so,
of Inception, come on,
yeah.
Marble Man, who has lost his
By the way,
marbles.
if you haven't just joined, if you're just joining us now, I was going with the theme of I've lost my marbles because we're talking about marble games today. Not Marvel, Daniel, not Marvel, marble.
sure
Yeah,
sounds
no
like
one
he's
will
saying
lose their
that.
marbles. I really hope that people aren't distracted and having seizures right now, Andy.
I hope not either.
Your dog is.
So let me go. I'm gonna go in order. I think Kelly went in order too, so I'll give her props. I know Daniel didn't. I don't think John did. Play shelf
I did.
trade.
Look at us, Andy. Look at us now.
Yeah, we're good people. Play is Gizmos. I want to play this because I've had so many people tell me it's darn fun. And looking at the description, it looks like, and maybe I'm wrong here, but do you play all simultaneously?
I don't think
it's
so.
turn-based.
Okay, because I thought maybe it was a little like Galaxy Trucker with marbles, maybe, but maybe I'm totally off there. Anyway, I'll give it a try. I'd like to play it, so I have to play it to see it. Shelf is going to be Potion Explosion, only because my wife likes it so much. I honestly don't think the game is that great. It uses a Candy Crush type mechanic, which can be interesting, but it just feels like a simple contract fulfillment game that has poor replayability. But as they say, happy wife, happy life, so it stays on the shelf. My trade is going to be Whirly Derby, which I did not know anything about this game, but I looked into it and I thought this is ridiculous. This game, to be fair, it's not even out yet, is it?
It's out. I own it. I'm right to your house, dude.
Wow. Anyway, I haven't played it, and I may be making a rash judgment, but it looks like total randomness in the form of a race with little strategy. If I want to play a racing game that kind of has that party game feel, and actually you can bet on and has some strategy,
stop.
I'm going straight to Camel Up, baby. Camel Up, and beats it in a heartbeat.
Whatever.
So
All
there
right,
you have
that's
it. There's
fair.
my play shelf trade.
I love that you're like, I looked into this game. I literally brought it to his house. Guys, this is the other thing about Whirly Derby is that it takes 10 minutes to play. Like you're just dumping marbles into a circular thing. So you have to keep that in mind. And I was like, Andy, 10 minutes? And he's like, nah, we're playing Terra. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Amen.
All
Come
right.
on,
So
we only
guys-
play Andy's games at Andy's house. Come on.
That's
I know.
Right.
No. So actually, you guys, as I was describing this and I said that we're talking about the classic, immediately in my head, I thought Hungry Hippos. That's the
Ooh.
classic marble game.
Yeah.
And Kerplunk,
Crossfire.
Crossfire
Crossfire's a good
Kerplunk.
one.
That's
You know
what
what
we
else is
should
a
have
good
done
one?
with this.
You know what the best one is?
What? Kerplunk.
Marbles.
Marbles.
Just marbles.
The OG.
That's fair. All right, guys. So tell us what your play shelf trade is. What do you think of Potion Explosion, Gizmos, and have you played Whirly Derby? Did we convince you to give it a try? And also, hey, for funsies, let's play shelf trade in the comments. Hungry Hippos, Kerplunk, and marbles. Let's just do it. See how
Have
many we
happy
get.
days.
I like it.
All right, and then leave comments, subscribe, and do all those fun things.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Dad, what are you playing?
Flip 7. On 2s? All right, let's go to our correspondent in the field, Mr. Hansa Teutonica.
Hansa, you there?
Hello there. Andy, you're looking quite smashing today.
Like
No
smashing
comment? Okay, that's fine. I'll just continue. So I have a comment today from Joe Coleman. He says from the Daniel is Wrong episode, Dear Around the Board.
Thank you.
We went to Daniel's Board Game Geek to look for something to pick at. And imagine my horror when I saw he had the amazing modern classic Dice Town rated the same as Sorry. What a travesty. Get to better taste, Daniel. Okay, Joe, listen, guys, Dice Town is a press your luck game that pretends to be strategic. But you know what? I have never been more upset than at a game with this because I kept getting screwed on the dice rolls, but you get to mitigate dice rolls, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I got a card that said, you know what? I play this card and nobody gets to re-roll at all except for me. You know what happened when I played that card? Everyone rolled a flippin' Yahtzee because that's what happens in this game. It doesn't matter how good you rolled. Everybody else can roll better, and you're just stuck going to the witch doctor to buy leftover garbage, and everyone's like, that's what makes the game good. You get something no matter what. No, that makes it infuriating. And you know what's not infuriating? Sorry, because you get to play with your kids, and you all laugh, and you have fun, and you joke, and you laugh. You know who's not joking and laughing? Me, when I play Dice Town. So yeah, Joe, sorry to burst your bubble, but that game is not fun. It's infuriating and maddening. So
I call
it was a
foul
good
play.
comment to find, Hansa.
I call foul play here because a breach of etiquette, if you will, because we're supposed to be talking about marbles on the show, not dice.
Well,
Good point.
I agree. Hansa, take your complaint to Hansa's manager.
I will. Trust me.
Maybe that's why
I'll meet
I
you
had
in
to
the
get rid
alley,
of the
Hansa.
copy I bought from you, Daniel. It had so much bad on it.
See, you didn't like it either. Yeah, that was the trade-off for me selling me on Mars, right?
What is that I hear? Did I hear something in the background? What is that?
Bad trade.
Do you hear
That
that?
is what?
Round 3. Fight!
All right, guys, now it's time for our John is Wrong. This is a series we've been doing where we take each one of us and we just let them know how wrong they are about something they've played or in their collection.
This will probably be the shortest segment.
This is just basically a celebrity roast, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, minus a celebrity, sure.
Yeah, minus the celebrity.
You know, it's just a good old pecking from friends. So I'm going to go first, and I just want to say I want to thank one of our fans, Mark, who we played The Godfather with, because this would have been my pick, except he changed my mind, which rarely happens. So you're welcome there, John. But we do still need to address something very serious. And it's not a misprint or rules mistake, but it's a John take that's so offensive to our community that I don't know if he could ever get the egg off his face. And that would be the Eggo Stranger Things edition that I was forced fully against my will to play. I should have left. I didn't. But instead, I get to talk about how this is one of the biggest useless IP grabs I've ever seen. It's just Uno. Literally just Uno, but not even good Uno. And that's how I know the Upside Down is real. Because his opinion did not come from our dimension on loving this game. And to add insult to my injury of playing this, there's a character, John will have to fill you in what it is, because I could barely handle playing this game, that has already lost before even beginning the game and will do nothing but lose the game. So it literally has no point. No point of being in this game, I guess, besides the point.
Is that the gal from the first season?
Yes,
Yeah.
Barb.
Yeah,
Barb.
there you go. I didn't really watch the show, but
Poor
I
Barb.
just, please guys, roast John as hard as you can in the comments. I still can't even with how I make fun of his taste sometimes. This one took the cake.
You know what? I can't defend that game because it's not a good game. I've never said it was a good game, but you can have fun with it. And I think if you watch Stranger Things, the Barb thing is a funny joke. The different things you can say to each other as you're playing it. It's more what you do with the game than the game itself that's fun. So that's a fair thing to say that's not a good game.
Sure, say that now that you're on the show. You sure were defending it that night.
Yeah, why'd you make us play it?
It's quick.
We had such a good day.
It's quick.
It's cool.
Not
And everybody
enough.
was laughing at the game, so it was fun.
That
You know
is
what else is
true.
fun, John?
What else is fun, Andy?
Watching clips on YouTube or looking at memes. But that doesn't make them a game. And that sounds like garbage. But so I want to start out by saying the real problem with you, John,
Oh my.
is that you're too hard to figure out.
Oh, okay.
You seem to go for any game that you think has a great theme, but you totally excuse its terrible mechanics. Inevitably, what you do is you end up giving the game away, which is very generous of you, but it's because your poor taste has won the day. And there are rare occasions when you're right, but they are few and far between. You're just not trustworthy, my friend. And so I'm going to go right to one of the games that I think is a great example, and that's Nothing Personal. That game is just not good. And no offense to our good friend Tom Vassell, who's on the show, but come on, man, that was a work in progress still before it was released. And so that's an example. There's an example for you.
Nothing Personal is not a perfect game. I'll admit that. And it is one that I only play because of the theme. If it was a theme of any other type that was the same mechanics and everything, I would not play it. But just because it's the theme, it's so cool. You're moving your gangsters up and promoting them and everything. Yeah, but yeah, it's actually the best time I had with it was when I played with Kelly and we played with the full player count, because it turned into like a game of Survivor, because you'd have one person that you're like, come over on our side. No, come over on our side and we'll get those people out. And so until I'd played with the full 5, I'd never knew that was even a possible thing that could happen in the game. So, but fair enough. A lot of people do not like Nothing Personal.
I won't. John, you're doing a really bad job at defending yourself.
Yeah. You're not doing a good job at all.
You're like,
I'm not gonna
right.
filibuster like Daniel did during his segment. If I could be wrong, I will admit it.
Okay. Wow. I don't know.
There's not much rebuttal going on here, just but.
I'm saving it for Daniel.
You're
He'll
saving
probably
your
say
butt
something
for
about
me.
Pan Am or Dice Town or.
Hey, I would bring up Pan Man. Okay, so here's the thing. Should I go for
Pan Man?
Should I go for a specific game that John's done a poor job at defending so far, or should I go for the genre of game? And you know what? For the sake of our fan, that is Blaze, he on our Facebook page wanted me to ask, and I agreed with him. It was actually what I was going to. He said specifically, I don't see anything wrong with John's choices, except for his dislike for fantasy. John, what the crap, dude? You are all about story. You're like the story guy persona. Like, and you're like anything story based, you're just like, nah, I'm not gonna like that. Vantage, nah, I'm not gonna like that. Oh, but this theme about vacuuming my house, love it because of the theme. You love theme, and there's nothing more thematic than fantasy themed games, specifically Lord of the Rings. Don't you want to be an adventurer? Don't you want to fight the monsters and slay the demons and be a heroic individual? Why are you so content with just being a boring, just dull, decorating your home or taking pictures? But you're like, hey, fight a dragon. You're like, no, not even gonna try it, dude. DCC, Dungeons and Dragons, Vantage, and I would even say Gloomhaven. You're gonna love these games because they immerse you in the story. They are immersive, and that's what you like, immersiveness. So stop being poo-pooing these fantasy games and get on board and play Gloomhaven.
Okay, this I will rise up against and take up my main
Get him! Get him!
The reason is the same reason that when the MCU was coming out with all their movies and like, oh great, they're gonna do Thor next. It's like one of my least favorite characters because I have no basis for judging anything that happens. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that how strong is he? I don't know. Can he do that? Oh, now he can fly, or now that thing can fly, or now that's the same thing with fantasy. There's no.
You just don't get as Guardians, man.
Listen to the music, man.
I like grounded in reality themes, and because then if something's being done right. Oh, that's being done well because that's exactly the way that is. And it doesn't have to just be boring stuff. World War II themes. I love World War II theme games if they're grounded and done well. It's like, oh, how cool is that? I'm actually doing D-Day. This is something that actually happened, and it's actually working out well. Working just like
too soon.
So if it's a grounded, that's the thing with me. You don't know if it's done well. Oh, fantasy. How did I kill a dragon? Oh, I threw a magic sprite at it, and then I, kicked it in the shin. Oh, well, that should work. Well, why not? I don't know, but who's to say it can't? So
I'm going to use magic missile.
I'm casting magic missile. Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
All right,
Back to your
John.
porch, old man.
That's right. I will say that Andy definitely had the best intro to this though, John. You are an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a joke, because we have no idea. You are a mystery nobody can figure out. We never know if you're going to like a game. You're like game length anxiety, but I love side reel confluence. You're like, I love thematic games, but you hate viticulture, and I get it. It's like watching grapes grow.
It does the thing too well.
But there's no consistency in you. You're crazy, man. There's no game that I'm like, yeah, John's gonna like that game, because he's gonna be like, nah, I don't like that because I don't know how rivers work. And you're like, whatever.
I gotta say, I'm the same way myself. I'm in a conundrum sometimes, because like I said, my most anticipated game of next year or this year is Status: A Victorian Affair, and I told my son when it was advertised on Facebook, no way I'm buying that Dollhouse game. And then a month later, I'm all in. I'm like, okay, that actually looks fun now. I think I'm going to do that.
See, decorating the home.
Wow.
John's
if
all
you're
about
confused, I'm as confused as you are.
Now tell us what you think about John's tastes.
Please do.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. I jumped in.
Restart.
Callie, go ahead.
All right. Well, if you're as confused as we are about John, and John is as confused as he is about himself, please like this video and comment and try to help us make sense of this all.
Final round. Let's get it on.
All right, for our final round, I'm hosting this one, and it is a classic game. It's called Tabletop Twister.
Get you up, twisted and tangled, it's a twister.
We should have known, John.
That's why you wanted to host it.
Twister ties you up in a knot, a twister.
Andy was like, I need to host this. It's called Tabletop Team Up. Thank you very much.
Team Up. I'm sorry. And actually, I'm really going to, not only am I going to biff it in that way, I'm also going to mess it up in another way, because I don't think I understood the rules of this game anymore.
That's ought to be good.
Uh-oh.
So what I did is I came up with some games that I think would be, they're basically parodies of games.
Well, before you do, Daniel, you want to tell us what the actual assignment was for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the assignment, Andy, which you might have done, it's parodies. We are supposed to recreate a game, retheme a game. Maybe it's mashing two games up, or maybe it's mashing a game up with a theme. And this time we mashed it with the theme, because in honor of John, we were like, all of these games that are just, way too much, no theme in them, or themes that he finds uninteresting, we need to retheme these games that John will find intriguing, like I always say, vacuuming the house. Like, I want to see Vacuuming House, the game. So we're going to take a game that exists and retheme it. So Andy, what do you got?
Okay, so maybe I did do this right then. So my first game is called Two Shrooms and a Tomb. In this social deduction game, a group of complete strangers are each handed 2 mushrooms. One is a simple psychedelic, the other, though, is toxic. The group are handed secret clues about which fungi is safe. But wait, there are 2 unknowing saboteurs that are given false information. The group must come to a consensus. If they don't, the 2 saboteurs will die. But if they do, everyone either lives or dies. It's a game of hilarity, misinformation, and survival. 2 Shrooms and a Tomb.
Wow. So how is that a real theme? It's about collecting mushrooms?
Yeah, it's a social deduction game, like Tumors in a Boom, but it's a much better theme.
It makes sense because I've been told I'm a fun guy. So
so funny.
Good job, Andy.
All right. So is that yours? That was your take?
That was my first one.
That was so quick.
He has more than one.
Are we
supposed to have one?
Oh,
of course.
Well,
why could you only just do one?
Well, since I'm hosting it, I'm going to do one more. Here's
top 5, top 10. No.
All right, this one is called Heat. Chicklets or piglets? The game features the heavily underused theme of breeding animals, specifically chickens and pigs. How will you get your animals in the mood for love? There are 2 paths to take, but which one will you choose? It could lead to an abundance of offspring, which then can be raised to produce offspring themselves. It's an engine-building chain game to see who can be the most bountiful. And, bonus, there's already an expansion in the works. It's called Heat, Nuggets, or Bacon, about producing the most food for your up-and-coming restaurant.
All right. So I think the second one needs to be your official selection, right, for the judge.
Although
to
it was, he took a game with a reality theme and made it a different reality theme.
It actually sounds like it could just be Animal Farm, the game too.
But they're in Heat.
But they're in
Okay,
Heat.
thank you.
Okay.
Reiterate.
All right. All right. That's gonna be a fun cover to conceptualize.
Yes.
Okay, well, mine, guys, is I am taking 7 Wonders and I am putting the theme of household planning, and I'm going to call it 7 days or 7 days a week. And in this game, you are drafting cards in order to be the best soccer mom you possibly can. Can you gather enough kids to put in the carpool? Can you visit enough locations to score the most points? Can you actually put together enough resources to create your wonder, which would actually be your status as the supreme, either like soccer mom, or maybe you're the classroom mom? What are you known for? Maybe you are the the bleacher dad who sits in the right side the outfield yelling at your kid. What that's the wonder that you are actually building. And then the science or the military is how you're going to draft, essentially how well you deal with the angst of your children. So whoever has the most, whatever, you can yawn as much as you want. This has John written all over it. John, 7 days planning your daily life.
Don't they already have that? It's called Let's Go to Japan.
I mean, and he loves it, and John loves it.
And let's not forget, let's go to
that actually
France.
doesn't sound too bad, Daniel. I think we need a prototype.
Yeah,
that one right away.
Well, John, what do you got?
Well, I got. You know what? I had talked about this game last year. It's a game that came out last year that caught my eye. Was very enjoyable. Played it with Daniel. And it was an open world sci-fi adventure game, not my type of game. But it could have been made better if it had a real world foundation. All right. I'm thinking that instead of a team of space travelers, you're a team of advertising executives trying to fulfill the needs of a big client in Advantage.
Nice.
So on your turn, you choose what adjacent room in the office building to enter. Upon entering, you have 6 different choices. Should you write a jingle, conduct a study, schmooze the client? The legal department says your slogan has already been copyrighted. Hopefully your fellow execs can pool their resources and avert tragedy. Advantage, an open building, not open world, cooperative, non-campaign advertising game where imagination fuels creativity. Advantage. At a store near you.
So, John, I know how you can make this game sell better. You need to see if you can get the IP for the show. Oh, crap, I can't think of the show's name.
The Office.
John Hamm. John Hamm's on it. The Ad Man. What is that?
Mad Men, right? Yeah.
Mad Men.
Yes.
Mad Men. Thank you. Yes.
Advantage. There you go.
Get the IP for Mad Men and put John Hamm on the cover. You got yourself a winner.
I think you're right. Yeah. Let's see. Doesn't that sound cool?
That sounds fantastic.
The same game, but you're just going around the office.
And the more you play it, the more you learn about the office. I love it. You don't have to visit the 3rd floor anymore because that's where they keep Weird Steve at.
That's right.
I love Weird Steve.
Speaking of Weird
Also
Steve,
known as
no,
Andy.
just kidding. Kelly, what do you got?
Oh, well, just like in life, I paid no attention to what John needs to like. I went with my own thing.
Okay.
And I was almost afraid, Daniel, that we were thinking too much alike, but I still think I'm a little different here.
Okay.
I have a version of Terraforming Mars. And since I really
Is it Chloroforming Stars?
No.
Is it Terraforming Marvel?
Nope.
Okay.
And that game was so distasteful, I had to make a better version. So let's do HOAforming Suburbia. It's a game about transforming a quiet neighborhood into a perfectly optimized, emotionally hostile community governed by bylaws, spreadsheets, and passive aggressiveness. And the victory is only to be had not by measuring happiness, but I can't speak, property value and HOA power trips.
Nice.
And I really dug into this one, guys. I got into it because I went down through their resources, like, Terraforming Mars has temperature, oxygen, oceans. My game's going to have neighborhood tension as the temperature, a curb appeal as oxygen, stormwater retention ponds for the oceans.
Very good.
Instead of mega credits, we're going to have HOA dues and so on and so forth. And let's not forget the heat, though, Facebook drama and group chat rage. And, this game's going to have cards like the dog park, increasing morale, but generates conflict because, dogs poop in other people's yards. True. And our milestones are instead going to be HOA achievements like first to ruin a block party, highest dues with no visible benefits, and most landscaping violations issued. And then the end game conditions, of course, is going to be neighborhood is up to HOA standards. Homeowners have given up and submitted to HOA authority because, that's what we're supposed to do. You either get in line or get out.
That's right.
And the Zillow estimate has peaked knowing that you have won the game.
Very nice.
Nice.
That was very good. That was very good. Once again, that sounds like a game that could be made. That's for sure. But then, you could build it up tile by tile, just like you do Terraforming Mars.
And then just
What's crazy, all 4 of these games, John would be all over. He'd be like,
yes.
this would your anticipated games of the year right here.
I don't know about that heat one.
You're in for it.
You want some pig loving.
Yeah. As much as I don't like heat, I think I'd rather play heat.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm getting a message from our producer. He says, since this is an episode about John being wrong, he wants John to have the ability to redeem himself. So, John, you're actually going to pick the winners of this one,
really?
and you can pick yourself, he says, which I think is shenanigans. But
that is shenanigans.
Yeah. But I trust that John is a fair and partial judge that would never be biased.
So am I doing first, second, and third place?
You are. So let's see who's going to be third.
Well, as much as I love my cover and everything, I really tend to go through these things by what do I want the title to be, and then I build a game around it, which isn't the best way to do it. And so I actually think Kelly is first place in this thing. She really went all out with the description of her game and everything, and I think it sounded like a fun game. I think that would work. And actually, I'm going to throw it to Daniel for second place. We put a lot of thought into his as well, much more than I did. I did put more thought into mine than Andy, so I will put myself at third. And then,
all right. Well, we skipped this in the last segment, but we didn't look at scores. So, John, even though he was benevolent and gave Kelly first, he didn't know what the final scores were going to be. So let's take a look right now. And last, unfortunately, it is Andy at a measly 14 points. You showed up, but the pig love just didn't do it for you. Daniel and Kelly, we were so close. I was at 17. Kelly, you were at 18. So that victory really threw you ahead of me. But John, you're the big winner. Even though this was about how you were a loser, you still win. So with 21 points. John, you get to take your 2 minutes and rant about whatever you want, and maybe defend yourself, or maybe not. You guys forced me to defend myself.
I think since I won, I pretty much must have defended myself pretty well. So I don't think I really need to go into that. But there is a little. This is somewhat board game related, board game creation related, because AI is the big thing right now. Daniel's all into AI. Everything he does is AI.
And not everything I do.
This isn't even Daniel.
This isn't even Daniel. This is AI Daniel that's on the show.
We haven't seen Daniel in 5 years. Let us know where he is.
But people are out there worried, hey, AI is going to take my job. Like every job out there, I'm doing this. AI is going to take it. A lot of things with technology is the implementation. And anybody that's been into a modern restroom, okay, I'm going to take it there. You walk in, If you're like me, you walk in, you walk past this bank of sinks that have this fancy, automatic turn on. 3 of them will come on as you walk past them. You go do the commode of your choice. You come back to the sink, and there's no way to get that stupid thing to turn on. You got the soap on your hands. You're trying to get, and then the 2 sinks down goes off. So then you go down there, and then it shuts off. Okay, AI. That's. I know that's not exactly AI, but it's technology. The implementation of technology depends on people that know what they're doing and that they know exactly what's gonna, what the situations are going to call for. And I just think we're way further than like 5-10 years off for that to be happening to a huge swath of society. But
I can't going once I started. It stings.
there we go. I'm not sure what that was, but that works.
Your toilet, and you're taking too long.
Okay.
John, not only did you steal the show count, you literally stole my rant from the beginning of us taping. Like, before we started taping, I was ranting about technology. I said 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you.
Nope, just came to me.
In a dream. In an AI fever dream.
On that high note,
yes,
we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, because otherwise the AI might shut us down.
They might.
Could happen.
They might shut us down. Anyway,
hey, we have a record, guys. This is the fastest episode, I think, since episode 2.
Sweet.
Episode number 2.
Number 2. Who does number 2 work for?
That's right.
All right, guys.
Right,
well, thank you
us out.
so much for being here on the show with us. We've enjoyed every little bit of your interaction, which we will see in the future, hopefully, because we're not seeing it now because we're not live. But anyway, give us your comments. Give us your thoughts on our YouTube channel. We'll take chat there. We'll take likes and follows, of course. And you can catch us on our podcast, which not as many people listen on the podcast as they should. I think the audio is sometimes better because it doesn't have our ugly mugs on it. And so do that. Also, look us up on social media. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. And you can always email us at mail at aroundtheboard.net.
There it is.
That said, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Could anybody hear me digging a Triscuit out of this box?
Oh my gosh, your Triscuits before the show. Ugh. You can't hear it this time.
No, man, you can't hear it?
No.